Hi everyone! So my upload schedule has been all over the place this month. I was traveling through Vietnam and I thought I would be able to film and edit while I was there, but that obviously didn't happen. We were trying to see as many places as possible, which looking back was probably too ambitious because I came back exhausted, but it was still a great trip. And when I got back, I edited that last video, which I filmed like weeks ago and posted it. And now I'm here filming this one. And honestly, I missed doing this. Sitting here and talking has become a part of my routine over the last 6 months, which is kind of surreal to me. 6 months and 30,000 subscribers. It's just crazy. I still don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just showing up and talking about whatever is on my mind. But thank you for being here and for watching. I really appreciate it. And I especially appreciate your comments because I'll share my perspective on something and then you all add yours. And suddenly I'm seeing the whole picture differently. So please keep commenting because it genuinely broadens my mind. Someone left a comment some time ago. They said they were suspicious of my ADHD because my videos seem too polished. And I had to laugh because my videos are polished. I don't think sitting in front of a camera and talking counts as polished. I just cut out the parts where I'm staring into space, trying to remember what word I wanted to use. That's literally most of my editing process. But I think this comment reveals something deeper about how people view ADHD. Like there's this idea that if you have ADHD, you have to be visibly struggling in every single moment for it to be real. You can't be productive. Maybe I need to be more chaotic on camera or fidget more obviously or constantly lose my train of thought. And if I don't fit that image, then maybe I'm faking it. And this is especially true for women. Like we go our whole lives not realizing that we have it because we don't fit the stereotype of the hyperactive boy in class. And then we get diagnosed at 30, 40, 50. And even then, people question it. It's frustrating. Like I don't have to prove anything to you. Thanks. And speaking of which, I spent some time with my parents before going to Vietnam, and seeing my dad with the knowledge that I have now about ADHD was really eye-opening. He's not diagnosed, but I am almost certain that he has it and that I got it from him. But his ADHD looks completely different from mine. There are similarities for sure, but the way it shows up in his life is so distinct from how it shows up in mine. For example, I don't really struggle with waiting in lines or sitting still as much as he does. I don't like it either, but it affects me less. We can be sitting and having a conversation and he will constantly need to get up, walk around, or suddenly remember something and go grab it. His hyperactivity is more obvious. Mine isn't as in your face. It shows up in smaller, less noticeable ways, like playing with my hair all the time, or shifting my position often, or like chewing inside my cheek or lip constantly. So it made me wonder about gender differences in ADHD. Like we know that ADHD is different in men and women, but why exactly? Is it just related to gender roles and how men and women are raised to behave differently? Or is there something hormonal happening too? Probably both, right? Well, I want to look into this more because I think understanding it is really important. And while I was at my parents' place, I found some of my old notebooks, and one of them was from 2016. And I saw that I was doing interstitial journaling 10 years ago. I had no idea I'd been doing it that long. I must have been doing it on and off throughout the years, maybe even longer than that. I don't really remember. I was thinking that I was only doing it these last couple of years. Well, I guess you should never trust my memory. But seeing it written out from a decade ago was surreal. It's always been the thing that helps me stay on track, apparently. So yeah, more than 10 years of interstitial journaling. Cool. Also, please let me know if you have any questions about interstitial journaling. I might make another video on it if you would like. You can leave your questions under this video. Thank you. So after visiting my parents, I went to another city and ate this buttery pastry that didn't really agree with me. I know this seems unrelated, but stay with me. I had a really bad stomach pain for like 5 days, especially when I was hungry. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night with a really bad burning stomach pain because it got worse when my stomach was empty. So to manage it, I kept a bottle of kefir with me and sipped it constantly throughout the day, just small amounts every couple of minutes to keep my stomach from being empty, because I also wasn't able to eat much. And something weird happened. My ADHD symptoms improved noticeably. My mood was better, I was more tolerant of frustration, and even my focus was a bit better. And I started wondering if eating more frequently could help with ADHD, because blood sugar affects brain function, and ADHD brains are already running on lower dopamine to begin with. But then I thought about the potential downside. We already use food for dopamine and stimulation and comfort, so eating more frequently could easily turn into overeating or unhealthy snacking patterns. I don't have answers yet, but I want to explore this more and maybe make a video about food and ADHD once I understand it better. I'm actually really interested in nutrition, like it's one of those topics that I can spend hours researching without getting bored, especially after realizing how much even slightly fixing my deficiencies has improved my life. For a while now, I've been thinking that nutrition, like vitamins, minerals, and everything we consume, affect our lives more than we realize. I was even thinking if certain populations are the way they are because of what they regularly eat. Not that it's the main factor, but I think it plays a huge role. I mean, if your brain needs a certain nutrient to function properly and you're not getting it at all, what will happen? Like, the chemistry in our bodies matters a lot more than we give it credit for. For example, I used to feel tired and sluggish all the time. I got a blood test done and it turned out that I was low in several vitamins and minerals, which makes sense because I've always been a very picky eater. I was especially low in B12 and iron, and once I started supplementing consistently, things actually got a lot easier. I'm less tired and I can function a bit better. So sometimes what we're struggling with isn't just about discipline or productivity or finding the right system. Sometimes it's just basic chemistry, and if that's off, no productivity system is going to fix it. So yeah, go get a blood test, everyone. Anyway, after visiting my parents, I flew to Vietnam, and oh my god, it was such a long flight. The flight back was with a layover in Shanghai, and I think it was the longest flight that I've ever been on. It was very hard for me. I'm not really gonna talk about my travel in Vietnam because that's not what this channel is about. But being in Vietnam made me think about a lot of things, especially about this whole digital nomad lifestyle that I've been living. You know that I've been living as a digital nomad for a while now, and for a while it felt perfect for my ADHD brain. New places, new environments, constant novelty. My brain craves that kind of stimulation. But lately, I've been feeling differently about it. So I can't settle into a space and make it my own. I can't buy furniture I actually like because I'll just have to leave it behind in a few months. I can't form deep friendships because either I'm leaving or they are. And I'm always thinking about the next move instead of being present where I am. I've been in this current apartment for quite a bit because we've slowed down a little, but we're moving again next month. And honestly, I'm tired. Not of travel itself necessarily, but of this lifestyle. I'm starting to crave stability and a home base and a place I can actually return to and a place I can actually design myself and not have to accept as it is because I'm renting. And that's hard to admit because I thought I was someone who thrives on constant change. But I think I was confusing my brain's need for novelty with what I actually want in my life. And those aren't the same thing at all. Now when I visit places, I look at them differently. Not just, is this interesting, but could I actually live here? Vietnam was beautiful, but the heat was unbearable. Like, the temperature dictates everything there. Restaurants close in the afternoon because it's too hot. People nap and life pauses. And I realized that I couldn't handle that long term. I thought I liked warm weather, but not that warm apparently. Like, at least with cold you can layer up, but there's only so much you can take off when it's that hot. And I noticed my brain felt slower in the heat, like harder to think and harder to focus. So I know I need somewhere cooler, but not too cold either. And actually the truth is there is no perfect place. Everywhere has trade-offs. You just have to figure out what matters most to you and choose accordingly. But the problem is I don't know what I want yet. I get interested in everywhere and nothing feels like the obvious choice. As usual, just like everything else in my life. I'm not able to pick. By the way, would you be interested in videos about the move, or is that too off topic from the productivity and ADHD content? I'm just curious how much of my day-to-day life you're interested in versus the practical advice videos. Let me know, because I've always just filmed whatever I feel like filming without much planning. Like this week I was planning to do a video on meditation, but it didn't feel right. I just wanted to sit down and talk about my random thoughts this week, and that's why I'm filming this video instead. Like, I'm always just following whatever my brain is telling me to do. As usual, I'm just going with my impulses, but I do want to know what you find valuable. One more thing I want to say before I go, which has been bothering me a bit, and I keep seeing it these days. So some people say ADHD is your superpower, and I get the intention behind it. It's meant to be empowering, yes. But I realize that it makes me feel worse, honestly, because I already feel like I don't fit in with the neurotypical society. And now I'm also supposed to fit into this narrative that somehow ADHD is all positive, that if my ADHD doesn't feel like a superpower, then I'm doing something wrong. I don't fit in with the ADHD people either. Like, yeah, I do believe ADHD has some strengths like creativity and pattern recognition, but it's also really hard. It makes daily life harder, relationships harder, work harder, and I don't think we need to pretend otherwise. It's okay to acknowledge that ADHD is difficult. And I think honesty is more helpful than forcing positivity that doesn't feel true. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all this. I just needed to talk through some thoughts, and I think that's part of why I make these videos. Not to just give advice or share tips, but to process things out loud. And maybe some of you relate to that because you're here listening to me ramble. So thank you for that. Anyway, that's it. Just some scattered thoughts. Let me know in the comments if any of this resonates, or if you have any opinions on the digital nomad lifestyle with ADHD, or the gender thing, or the superpower stuff. I want to hear what you think. As usual, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.